FC Barcelona take on Atlético Madrid in Copa del Rey semi-final, and today we are going to be talking about the game. I'm going to be giving my preview of the game that is to come. Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Michael. Now, although I haven't been able to post recently due to my schedule, I will be trying to upload more regularly on the channel and try and be more consistent. Now, that being said, let's get straight back into the video. Now, today's video, we're going to be looking at the game against Atlético Madrid. We are going to be looking at the team selection for both teams. We're also going to be looking at the injuries, the players that are available. I'm going to be talking about the form of both teams. I'm also going to be talking about how they would line up tactically, the lineup for the game. I'm also going to be giving my predictions at the end of the video, so stay tuned. Now, when it comes to team selection for Barça, I think Barça is still going to be without Rafinha, and they're still going to be without Pedri as well. Although Rafinha has begun training individually with the ball, I don't think he's going to be ready enough to play this game on Thursday. Same goes to Pedri as well. I think this game would be a rush for the both of them, and we don't really want to rush these two players. They are very important players for Barca. So I think they are going to actually skip this game, and maybe we'll look at the weekend, maybe if they could come back for that game. For Atleti, the only noticeable injury I know of is Pablo Barrios. I don't think he's going to play this game as well. So I think Simeone is going to be without Pablo Barrios for the Barcelona match. Now let's talk about team form coming into the game. Now we have to look at both teams and how they've been playing coming into this game. I think for Barca have been really good. Barcelona have 17 wins in their last 18 games and only lost one game against Real Sociedad. Whilst Atleti have been hit or miss, they've drawn some games, they've lost some games as well. They lost their last match against Real Betis in La Liga. Now when you look at form, Barca look like the team that should win this game, because of how good they've been playing, how many wins they've had over the last 18 games. However, that doesn't mean that they should underestimate Atletico in this game. Atleti are a very dangerous team. Simeone can get his players playing at a higher level than they normally would in a normal fixture. Now, with that being said, let's look at the possible lineup that could start this game. Now, for FC Barcelona, the last match they played, Hansi Flick went with the lineup of Joan Garcia in goal, Koundé, Kubasi, Eric Garcia and Balde, Dani Olmo and Casado as double pivot, with Fermin Lopez as the attacking midfielder. Then we had Lamine Yamal, Rashford and Lewandowski to complete the front three. Now, I do think that Frenkie de Jong would come back into the lineup against Atletico Madrid. The only question then will be who drops out of the lineup for Frenkie de Jong. Now, me personally, this is how I would go. I would start Frenkie, Casado and Fermin in the midfield, where Frenkie and Casado could work defensively in the midfield, and Fermin could give the energy that is required to play against Atleti in this type of situation. I would also start Lewandowski over Ferran Torres because this type of games, you need an experienced striker to really try and occupy the centre-backs of Atletico de Madrid. And also, I would start Eric Garcia over Jules Koundé just because Koundé has not been really good this season when it comes to defensively. I think he has struggled a lot against wingers who can dribble and who can score goals. So I would put Eric Garcia, a player who is more solid and who is more reliable right now than Jules Koundé. Because most likely Koundé will be going up against Ademola Lookman in this game, and honestly, you do not want to give Simeone an opportunity to find a weak spot in this team. If he does, I think he will try and exploit that, and Koundé could be targeted throughout this game. So that's why I would bench Koundé and play Eric Garcia instead. So this would be the lineup that I would go for. And lastly, Barcelona was going to really need a big performance from Marcus Rashford. Now, Rashford this season has done really well, but I still want that really good performance overall. And coming into a big game like this, I think it's going to be a rare start for him to play a big game because Rafinha is injured. So this is going to be a good opportunity for him to show what he can really do. So I want a complete performance from him. We already know what Lamine Yamal can bring to this team, so there's not much to talk about him. And then there's Atleti. Normally Simeone lines up in a more defensive shape whenever he's facing Barcelona, but if I was him, I would line up in a more attacking minded formation due to the fact that number one, you're playing at home, you have the home fans cheering you on. You also have to take advantage of some of Barca's defensive issues, whether it comes to the high line or it comes to someone like Koundé. This would more or less be the lineup that I would go for. I would put Lookman on the wing to try and occupy Koundé or whoever plays there. I'll put Simeone on the other side to put crosses into the box. And I would also have Solot and then Julian Alvarez as your two number 9s occupying the centre backs of Barcelona. Now, how would both teams play and how would they match up against each other tactically? Now, I think this one is a bit easier. I think Simeone would just basically try and pack the bus. Barcelona would have more of the ball, try and attack more throughout the entire game. I think Simeone would just sit deep and try and hit Barcelona on the counter-attack throughout the entire game. That could work sometimes, but other times it could spell danger for Atleti itself. Now, what are my predictions for the game? I think Barcelona will score goals, but I think Atleti will also score goals against Barcelona. I think Barca's defense can actually leak some goals, leak some opportunities, but then Atleti as well are going to concede a couple of goals from Barca. If I was to predict the scoreline, I think I would go 3-2 Barcelona. I think Barca could win this game and they could go to the Camp Nou with a 1-goal lead. So I think Barca could win this game 3-2. Now, overall, I think it's going to be a very difficult game. Flick needs to get his lineup spot on. The attackers need to convert their chances that they get. The players need to really step up. The defense needs to be really locked in throughout the game. And I think Barca can actually win the game and then go to the Camp Nou with a 1-goal lead. I predict the game would end 3-2, but let's just wait and see how the game actually turns out. If Barca play to the level that we know, I think Barca can actually beat Atleti and even proceed to the next round, which is the final. So hopefully it will be a great game for Barca. I will be watching the game and I'll also be giving my review of the game after the game is over. So please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and thank you all for watching. I will see you guys on the next one.